Day 24, Chasing the Dragon. So, chasing the dragon is a term that is used in any, mostly it refers to people like have taken drugs like heroin or coke or stuff like that. Stuff that give you a real extreme high. And the reason people become addicts is because they're always chasing the experience they initially had. The euphoria. I've personally never taken drugs, but I understand if you take heroin or speed or coke or anything like that, is that, the first time you take it, it's fantastic. No, it's an interesting thing. Remember as a kid, Sade had a song. It was called "Never as Good as the First Time." But then again, Foreigner had a song called "Feels Like the First Time." So who do you believe? Anyway, concerning my situation right now, if there's one thing that was always spectacular, and really, it was always spectacular as compared to anybody else, is that, our intimate connection was, as I've already said many times, if you watch the installments here, it was pretty spectacular. It was better than the first time. The first time was okay, but, we had several occasions where I felt it was pretty stunning. And I think she did too. I mean, she verbalized that. And as I said, I think our physical connection kept us together longer than she would have stayed based on her personality, her avoidant personality style, and I guess I have an anxious attachment style. I'm thinking more about it, or at least I became anxious because it's hard to, you want to connect with some people, and sometimes you just want their space, right? But again, it's chasing the dragon. So as I think about our relationship now, or lack of relationship, it's not so much that I want to, I don't feel like I'm looking for something that was never there. It really was there from the standpoint of, it's almost like she was two people. It's like when we were together, it was great. We had good connection, everything like that. But it's almost like when I went away, she had personal demons that would prey upon her mind and cause some division within our relationship. Now, of course, a lot of Doc Love often says that interest level cuts through everything, and I believe that's true. I mean, if you really are interested in doing something, you will do anything for it, and especially, that's why I said in the past, that's why women join these cults like Manson. You had all these women that were in love with him just because they had a huge interest in him for whatever his deal was. I don't know. The point is that I can understand, I have no idea what your dynamic is with your relationship that you're trying to save. Because, let's face it, a lot of relationships, they come apart because people are arguing, people are having issues. And in the case of my girl, I mean, the biggest issue we were having is that she was pulling away a little bit, and I didn't understand how to deal with that effectively over a longer scale. Didn't fight, I just expressed it, but it was enough to push her away. Which is why I believe she'll be back, because even if she's involved with another dude right now, I'm extremely confident, based on her reactions with me, that she will not be able to duplicate the experience that we had together. Not only intimately, but just our good times. Our good times are really good. Of course, the honeymoon period, there's no accounting for. I mean, everybody experiences that, and it's fine enough. But I can remember her even pulling away early on in our relationship, and I dealt with it much more effectively. I don't think a lot of men can. I think a lot of men will have problems with it more and manifest themselves, because there's a lot of weak bitches out there from the standpoint of guys needing validation. I mean, I became weaker and weaker as we went on, because my interest level was going through the roof. And you want to, as men, we have an instinct to protect what we love by what we know to do, and that's by taking action without realizing that action in this particular case was a fool's errand. But if you are involved in a no contact phase with your girlfriend, you need to ask yourself the question, what kind of relationship did you have? Were you fighting? Did you have disagreements over money? Were you jealous? Was she doing things that were really affecting your relationship, like fidelity-wise or integrity-wise? That wasn't the case with my relationship, so that's why I'm pursuing this further. I know, a good country phrase, I don't know what song it's from, but don't throw good love after bad. And I don't believe this is bad love. I believe that, she's a professional woman who, she has, and that rubs off on other areas of her life. She tries to separate her masculine side from her feminine side. And I just think that the critical mass of our relationship, the emotional load, became too much for her to bear. But the fading effect bias is what I'm relying upon. The fading effect bias being that as time goes by, one forgets about the weak behavior, and then they start to remember. And she's going to remember, like we went on 3 vacations together, constantly laughing and having a good time. Our intimate connection was very, very extreme. And I just think all that kind of stuff, I think that right now for sure it has to be playing on her mind. And if there's another guy, which I do not know, I know for a fact she's got to be comparing him against me, because even her children, I played with her kids, had a good time, and there's just a lot of guys who will do that. Now, I'm not saying that's the definitive thing that's going to keep her, but she will be comparing, and that's delightful. As far as I'm concerned, I think that's awesome, because it will, I think this is the hard reset I mentioned before that needs to happen. So once again, if you are chasing the dragon, trying to recreate things that you never had again, that's a mistake. In my particular case, gotta be honest, guys, the dragon never went away. I mean, for guys, what is the number one thing that we love? Is the sexual connection, and ours was ridiculous. So that's all I can say about that. Anyway, this is day 24. No word yet. And again, I'm not expecting anything. The earliest I'm expecting something is mid-July. But could be a lot longer. I mean, here's the best part: life is long. I don't have to worry about having kids with this woman or anything like that. But I feel in my bones that she's coming back, and I'll just have to handle her right. I'll have to do. This whole situation is a result of my codependency, and I will have that problem handled. Thanks for listening, guys.